Continuing our discussion on Carolina Hurricanes prospects, I wanted to take a look at those that are college bound this year. You know, the Canes have had great success with collegians in the past and currently have two outstanding collegians. That would be Brett Pesce and, of course, Jacob Slavin. So, looking at the crew that's heading off this year, there are some real nuggets in there. First of all, I think Scott Morrow, Bradley Nadeau, Jackson Blake, those three guys, they're all potential future Canes. Let's start with Scott Morrow. You know, Morrow is regarded as an outstanding prospect for the Hurricanes. He's right up there with Alexander Nikishin, and for sure, he's got lots to show. This guy's an offensive juggernaut. The last couple of seasons in UMASS, he's been outstanding. The first year, really something. He was All-American, All-Rookie. He was an all-star, you name it, he did it all. Over a point a game, great way to start his collegiate career. Last year, not quite so dominant, but a nice season nonetheless. But when you take a look at Scott Morrow's game, boy, he can do it all. This guy's big, he's 6'2", he's 200 pounds, and I remember Darren York said at the draft, he said, any time that you can get a player that's a big player, right-hand shot, and who's offensive, you've really got a winning combination, and I think he stated it right there, what we're seeing with Scott Morrow. Morrow can skate, he can fly, he's extremely good with the puck, he can see the ice very, very well. Of course, very strong on the power play. His offensive game is just outstanding. The question is, can he shore up some of his defensive side? Occasionally, he kind of wanders a little bit. He's a player that likes to have the puck, and so he's got to put more emphasis on getting the puck than just waiting for it to show up on his stick. So he's a guy that clearly has outstanding offensive capability, and we're going to have to see how he's going to continue to develop at UMass this year. Interestingly enough, there was a rumor recently that Morrell may decide to end his collegiate career at the end of this year and head to the Hurricanes. So that would be very, very exciting. Not sure where he's going to play yet, but he's definitely a prospect that is extremely exciting to all of us, and we're going to keep an eye on him for sure. Bradley Nadeau is an interesting one. He was drafted this year in the 30th position in the first round, and I think he's a young player that just tore up the BCHL last year with the Penticton Vs. He had 113 points in 54 games. This guy was just magic. He was all world. He was just dominant. He's got great skills with the puck. He's an outstanding passer and playmaker, but what really sets him aside, I think, is his shooting. He was rated one of the top shooters in the draft. This guy's got a lethal, blistering shot, and he gets it away quickly and cleanly. He's a guy that can find the open space, he can get that shot off, and he can pick the corners. He is really something. The challenge with, of course, a guy like Nadeau is he's not the biggest guy yet, so he's got to grow. He's going to have to continue to bulk up a little bit, but he's a really outstanding, talented offensive player. Defensively, of course, as with all of these young players, they're always working on their game, and he'll continue to do that. And he'll do that at University of Maine this year. So that's an opportunity for Nadeau to, again, continue to grow, develop, build his complete game, and prepare himself for the pros for sure. And then Jackson Blake. Really like Jackson Blake. Jackson, the son of Jason Blake. Jason played about 10 years in the National Hockey League. 1 year with the Islanders. He scored 40 goals, so he can put the puck in the net or could put the puck in the net. I think if Jackson plays a similar game, which they say he does, to Jason, that's a good thing for the Hurricanes. He's one of those complementary players. He's going to be able to come in and score. He's going to work at both ends of the rink. He's just a good, complete player. And he's got a great shot. He's obviously a very, very capable winger that can put the puck in the net, can distribute passes, and sees the ice very, very well. So he's a skilled player. Really, the key with him now is he's just got to continue to bulk up. He checks in at about 5'10", 5'11", but he's not a heavy player, so he's going to have a chance in North Dakota to continue to grow and continue to build out his game. But he's got, no question, he's got pro skills, and he's a guy that we're going to be really excited about. Darren York, in talking about Jackson Blake, said this guy is he's a very, very smart player. outstanding in 5-on-5. And those are the kind of guys that you really build Stanley Cup winners with, for sure. Now, let's talk a little bit about Jayden Perron. He's also heading off to North Dakota, and that's, of course, an outstanding school for delivering hockey players into the National Hockey League. Brad Berry, who's the coach and has been for several years, is just outstanding at delivering these players into the NHL, no question. Let's talk about Perron. Perron, when you heard about Nadeau and his shooting, one of the top shooters in the draft, Perron is one of the top passers in the draft. He was an outstanding playmaker. He just had an outstanding season last year. And I think he's a player that for sure we're really excited about as he goes forward and drives his business. He had great success in the USHL and in that junior program in the U.S. And he's a player that for sure we're going to be excited about going forward. He can dish the puck off as well as anybody. He sees the ice extremely well. He's very, very creative. He has a great shot. Again, he's a small player, though, at 5'9". He's a little bit smaller than you'd like in that forward crowd. But I'll tell you what, that's probably to the credit of the Hurricanes. They were able to draft him in the 3rd round this year, and several analysts had him as high as the 1st round. So this was a great pick for the Hurricanes. No question, he's a talented guy. We're going to look forward to his development in North Dakota and just see how that goes. But we've got some time here while he gets his game rounded out, continues to grow, and prepares himself for the pros as well. And let's finish off with Cruz Lucius. Cruz Lucius, the brother of Chad Lucius, top prospect with the Winnipeg Jets. Again, great pedigree. Cruz is a guy that had a good first season in Wisconsin. Over a point a game, really came onto the college ranks in a very, very great way. He's a player that plays hard, both ends of the rink. He's a good passer. He's got a great shot. He plays a solid game. And he's got potential to continue to grow with that. The challenge with Cruz has been basically his skating. Can he get first step quickness up? Can he continue to build strength in his stride? You know, all the things that are needed to enhance your skating as you go along. So he's going to be working hard on that, and the Canes will be working with him to continue to build his overall game, and hopefully a couple of years in North Dakota, and we're going to start to hear more about Cruz Lucius. So if you take a look at that crew, you got to like what you're seeing. Just like the folks I talked about with the Southeast Rookie Showcase, the Canes are loaded with outstanding prospects. So, want to thank you for joining me today. Feel free to add a comment down below, and please subscribe. And we'll look forward to chatting with you very, very soon on the next edition of Storm Tracker.